All right, for starters, out of everything that I used to see in the past, like Looney Tunes and other classic cartoons, Tom and Jerry just changed everything for me. It was just like the first official the first official gift to the world that ever keep me entertained. It was just that funny, everything. I still love it to this day. I just usually go back sticking with the old classic shorts, but I still respect the franchise.
You Blitz?
Oh yes, I do enjoy. Yes, Tom the mouse and Jerry the cat. Meow. Hi everybody, this is Blitzy and welcome back to iBlitzy. This is my crew and we're about to review.
Not this crap again. Come on.
So basically, we're talking about how Tom and Jerry basically changed everybody's lives. Because yes, Tom and Jerry is a classic. You can never go wrong with it. You know, it all started with the shorts. Then it became like eventually like movies and all that, into shows eventually. And yeah, it's still going on to this day.
And they weren't originally called Tom and Jerry in the first place. They were actually called Jasper and Jinx.
Yes.
Yep.
And they got the names actually from a cocktail whiskey.
Yes, which was like wow.
But I think the name suits them because it's much more recognizable than Jasper and Jinx.
Oh, like it was actually kind of cool.
Like Tom and Jerry ripoff, basically.
What?
It sounds like a bootleg Tom and Jerry, but I was just making a joke, but. Well, yeah, what do you think of the original art style of Tom and Jerry before they modernized it?
Well, of course, like yes, just starting out, you know, of course, Tom looked a little bit like weird with the animation along with Jerry, but hey, anything's possible, you know. I still appreciate it. Yeah, that's the thing with Tom and Jerry, with like the different animations throughout like the time. Like yeah, there was this animation. I was like, wow, I think it went all out for this.
Yeah. Especially in Evolution. There are certain ones that I don't like. Let's just look it up because
so like basically like yes, what I'm saying like for Tom basically like some of the shorts he would be blue and some of them he would be gray.
Yeah, I prefer him gray. And makes him more stand out.
I don't know. I actually prefer him as blue. That's my opinion.
Well, sometimes he's blue, yeah, but again, I prefer him gray.
Well,
like Grey's Anatomy.
Like for me, it don't really all that matter that much because I just love however they look, and it really is cool to see him as a sort of normal cat, and then become much more humanoid, like walking on his hind legs 24/7, making much more anthropomorphic.
And I found this out several years ago. I didn't hear about this, but there's actually human versions of Tom and Jerry. Look.
Yeah, I've seen that before in like the previews of classic cartoons.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, there's another Tom and Jerry, but human? Dang. But yeah, I'm still trying to find the one I was thinking about. It was like, okay, I'll explain it like this. You know those shorts where the cartoons are like kind of wonky and those weird noises, and that one guy that's always hit on Tom?
Oh, those kinds, right? Oh wait, I think that was like the Gene Deitch era. Yeah, that's what that was.
What's the Gene Deitch era?
I'm just telling you right now, like one of the animators in charge of like what the whole. Jeez, I can't be helping out all the time. But
You mean you have people? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So Gene Deitch, he was an American like illustrator, animator, and comics artist, and worked on like the Tom and Jerry and Popeye, and that's all that is. Like seriously.
That's pretty interesting.
Like yes, there's multiple different eras. Like there's the Chuck Jones era where, of course, where Tom has different looks, kind of like similar to the Grinch, because the Grinch was first created for like the animated short by Chuck Jones.
Yeah.
True. And yeah, for those in the audience, this is the animation I'm talking about. I just don't like the animation because it's so wonky, and I hate the reuse sounds and stuff. But so I barely watch that. But there are some episodes that I recognize when I see them. Like there's that Greek one where they're in the Greek times and stuff, and it was just memorable. But anyway, how did you get introduced to Tom and Jerry?
Okay, yes. It all started way long ago when I had this DVD called Tom and Jerry Greatest Chases, and my first ever one was, oh wait, what was it? It was a Tom and Jerry Yankee Doodle Mouse.
I actually have that on DVD too.
Yes, you see this right here.
It also has the golf episode where Tom plays the piano, where they throws the entire kitchen to make it an ice skating rink.
At Blitz, go on.
I was like, okay, Mr. Yes Guy from The Simpsons.
No. He's like, yes. There's a difference, but
you should have gone with that though. But you know.
Well, I just love how a fresh gets excited whenever I have something come with him. So that's just a thing we have.
Oh, love you.
Hey! Don't make us sound gay.
I'm
Right?
kidding. I'm just kidding. You can't gang up on me because I'm Indian. How dare you?
Hey, dude! Nobody said anything about your race, dude.
Oh no, Allie, no. Good night. For me, how I got introduced to Tom and Jerry, yeah, as simple as that. I got introduced to it in Cartoon Network and Boomerang, just playing the shorts, because along with that was the Looney Tunes also.
Mm-hmm. As for me, I don't know what year I got introduced to the show, but of course it was through Cartoon Network and or Boomerang, through the shorts, and a lot of them made me laugh so hard. Like, there's this one of my most favorite because it made me laugh the most called Pecco's Pets, where Jerry's uncle comes by and he's an older fella, cowboy hat and a guitar, and every time he plays the guitar it breaks, and every time it makes you laugh, and it just keeps pulling Tom's fingers in order to get a guitar string. It just makes me laugh, and every time and back in the day, whenever my granny was still alive, my mom and dad had to go to work, and she actually babysat me, and every time I would watch Tom and Jerry, I would wait for that episode to come on.
Good episode. One of my favorites, because I've seen it a lot as a child, is the episode Baby Puss.
Oh.
Is that the one where those cats came by and they're like messing around with him, and one of them dressed up like a woman?
Well, yes. All they were doing was just making fun of him because Tom was being forced to dress up like a baby by this little brat.
Well, that was not my favorite part. My favorite part is like when Jerry's taking a pretend shower and Tom looks at him.
Oh,
and
yeah. But yeah, that's a logic. Run naked, but get scared of when you are actually naked in the shower.
It's a joke.
Like, okay, yeah, I know it's a joke, but remember, like, those beach episodes? Why is Tom wearing clothes for crying out loud? Yes, I know he's a cat, but why wear the clothes? You're naked all the time at that point.
I know, but I guess because it's a beach-themed episode, they decided to make them wear beach attire.
Yes. Let's see. One of my favorites is The Mouse That Came to Dinner, where Tom tries to have dinner with another female cat, only for it to be a little bit of food fight-esque, and then it just I just always die laughing when Jerry climbs into this turkey and Tom just unknowingly keeps on stabbing it, and Jerry makes noises saying, "Oh no, I'm dying!" Blah, blah, and only for Tom to find out that he's not in the. It's hilarious.
Let's see. Okay, if I can find it, hold on. I believe this is the right episode. Oh yeah. Another one I really liked was the Peace Treaty.
Oh, that one.
Is that the one where they finally surrendered and they went to theaters and actually watched their own shorts?
No,
that's the one where Jerry, Tom, and Spike, finally put their beside.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's a classic. Especially where the scene where they're trying to see what steak piece goes to theirs, and of course Spike gets a big piece, and Tom sets the fork on his hand, and he does that beaver face, and Spike grabs his lips like a platypus and just. Yeah.
Well, I always like the beginning where they like start hating each other, and they did that at the end of the episode. I was like, here we go, square one, you know.
And the one I was talking about, where they went to theaters, that they actually showed that, and towards the end of the episode was showing that Jerry actually stopped them and actually noticed them. So yeah, that's clever fourth wall breaking.
Yeah. Another one would be The Bodyguard.
Yes.
Is that the one? Let's see, where
The one where Spike is Jerry singing, because, and then eventually he ate a gumbo, which, was food by Tom.
Oh yeah. That's what I was trying to think about.
Remember, if you're in trouble, just give me the whistle. And he get a whistle after that. Damn.
Yeah, but Spike is pretty cool with that, of course, because he'll do anything for Jerry, especially if you want to beat the crap out of Tom. Like, there's also several episodes where it shows him, his son, Tyke, like this one called Hiccup Pup, and if Tom makes a noise, it'll make Tyke make the hiccups. Like, this is one where Jerry...
Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to talk about the Goldberg scene where he has that on his feet.
I was about to mention that, and like Tom, Spike was trying to find Tom. He's right behind him, and I was like, look under him, and Tom was like on his back, and he saw his tail. Was like, are you up there? And he's like chasing him. It's like, shh, take him off. Okay, and then I started chasing.
Yes.
Another one was where he was teaching his Tyke how to bark, and barking at Tom, and then Spike barked at him and is like chasing him and stuff. And at the end of the episode, he like painted a telephone pole with grease and just started barking at him continuously while Tom was like slipping up.
Mm-hmm. Another good one I saw as a kid was the Bully Alley Cats. You ever seen that one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah, I liked that. Like, what was like one of your favorite parts from that episode?
It's been a while, so I don't honestly remember.
Well, yeah, same here too. It's just like I've seen like other different bigger and funnier ones.
Yeah, and the one I was talking about earlier, the one where he plays a piano called Cat Concerto, I like it because there's some of the notes he played that sounded really good, and it's just funny. Like Jerry messing around with him a bit, and then Tom had enough and actually like. Playing keys and started messing with Jerry, and Jerry had enough and pulled two of the key things and started playing with the keys, and Tom couldn't keep up and he got exhausted.
And also from Boomerang from years ago, they used to this. I don't know if they still do it, but of course, remember Nibbles? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The cat.
No.
The cat, mouse.
The mouse, yeah. They would always put this scene where, like, Tom would scream and he would say, like, touche, la pussycat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic. And there's an episode, I don't remember what it was about, but Tom was chasing a nibble while Jerry was trapped in a glass bottle under some bugs, and he was trying to hit him with a fly swatter, and Jerry saw that, and then Jerry let out.
He opened up a can of whoopee on him, yeah.
I know, and that war is called the Universal Stock War, which is a really old war used for many monsters
yeah, dude, I go to sound effects wiki to learn the sound effects. I know this.
I wonder how they did make that sound effect, though. But anyway, what's another good one?
Oh, I got one.
What?
Remember Dr. Jackal and Mr. Mouse?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that one's a classic. Where, of course, Tom got some milk for himself, and Jerry kept drinking it, so he decides to make himself some poison and try to kill Jerry. But end up accidentally giving him brute strength and end up beating him. But there's a time limit, like either for several minutes or based on what Jerry's doing. I don't know what the exact side effect is, but whatever the time limit goes down, he goes back to normal. So he has to drink some more in order to do it. And then he tried to cook some for himself, but Tom ended up drinking it. So when he drank it, he grew, but malfunction happened and he shrunk. And every time Jerry hit him, he starts getting smaller, as small as a flea.
I just like the sound effect when they like first make the poster, like boom, 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 and all that. Yeah.
I always die laughing when the fly first drank the poison milk. He was just walking up to it and then, and out of everything that I've always been, I've always been freaking scared as heck of flies and stuff. But that one right there, it kind of looked almost kind of a little bit adorable looking.
What's another good one? Let's see. Remember that little duck dude?
Oh yeah.
There's this one where this husband guy's wife anniversary present and he's like
it's basically Donald Duck's original voice actor. I like that.
Oh, I think it makes sense because ducks and stuff. And remember the episode where Tom was like duck hunting, and every time he actually gets shot, and the duck tells Jerry like wham, 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 and Jerry's like that's it, and he just tied him up and just put clothespin on his beak.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the episode Jerry and Jumbo?
Yes.
Yeah, where he found an elephant and he picked him as Jerry.
Oh yeah, that was a classic. And remember the scene where he pinned the mother as well, and Tom saw Jerry, and then the baby elephant and then the mama elephant, it got freaked out.
Yeah.
And there's also the one where Jerry met a lion because he escaped from the circus, and he wants Jerry to take him back to the jungle.
Oh my god, yes. That was like one of the most saddest ones ever. I actually did cry at the end too, because I was like, yeah, it's so hard to just say goodbye. It's just, wow.
Wow. But there's this one scene that was pretty funny where Tom was put on to attack them in the closet, and he locked the door, and then Jerry actually beat the crap out of him.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of sad episodes, remember the darkest one of all when Tom and Jerry want to, pop themselves?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, on the train track.
Yeah, because, both got their hearts broken.
Yeah.
It's just it kind of reminds me of that one episode of SpongeBob where, Squidward wanted to end it all.
Yes. Well, I mean, it looks like he's gonna end it all.
Yeah. There's actually a scene where it shows rope, and that was the news, but it was actually a bird cage holding a clam.
And he stuck his head in the oven, but it was actually just a burnt casserole.
Yeah. Or what was it, brownies?
Or whatever. Like the point is just, at first I was just, I really didn't pay attention to the train and stuff. I was just like, is that in the distance? But then, I just moved on.
Yeah. But they still kept making more shorts and more cartoons and more movies of Tom and Jerry, because it's a classic. You can't do nothing wrong with that. Of course,
I was going to explain, yes, we can explain more about the Tom and Jerry shorts, but we would like to get to other topics.
Well, yes, I'm just going to end it off, I'm just going to end it off with my side with one more thing. Like, you can end yours with one last thing if you have any, but just saying.
Okay. This one.
From each of us, each of us can say our last opinions from the shorts. And
my last one. The Invisible Mouse.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Where of course there was vanishing cream. I was like, wow. Apparently it's makes you invisible. Apparently.
Remember that scene where he's on Tom's tail and he thought the ghost cut his tail off. He was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that's my side, you guys.
For me, I don't remember what episode's called, but Tom and his cat gang, even Butch, was like setting up a projector showing a compilation of Tom and Spike of how stupid he is, until Jerry finally showed it to him, and then but I was like watching the whole thing, and bunch of like, wow, was he mad? Bow, bow, wow, bow, wow, wow, bow, wow, wow, bow, bow, wow, bow, bow, wow, bow, wow, bow, wow, bow, bow, wow. And then he started beating the crap out of him. Oh man, it was just funny. What were your thoughts on Butch?
Butch, the other cat, yeah. Although there were some episodes where, especially when he was trying to help Tom, I gotta say, this is neutral to me. I can't say anything else.
Yeah. Sometimes they're best friends, sometimes they're enemies. Like, remember he was hired to exterminate Jerry, like a mouse exterminator, but every time Tom starts having mishaps to him, and then he crossed out the mouse and put cat and just put out a shotgun and start chasing him with it.
Yes, I do.
And, of course, can I tell theories about Tom and Jerry if I can?
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, one of them, yes. The reason Tom doesn't want to kill Jerry that fast is because Jerry's actually the reason why Tom is still here today, because, he's the only cat that can catch Jerry, but sometimes, could miss. But, they're actually best friends, this is secrets. They just don't want to admit it.
Right.
Yeah, especially in the episode where it's like all snowy and stuff, and they actually became friends until the owner came by, and that's where they pretended to do it, and Tom actually tossed him out in the snow.
Yeah, and another theory is how Tom and Jerry had a lot of owners over the years? Well, of course, the first owners, the white couple, remember them?
Yes.
They're the actual owners, and you see the black woman in some of the shorts. That's actually the housekeeper.
Yes.
That could be it. Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, you've never seen her face. The housekeeper. There was one scene where she was running towards the house, and you can see her face for a split second.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know which episode that is, but yeah, I saw that on YouTube. I was like, wow.
Yeah, for me, it was cartoon characters' faces you never seen until now. One of them was Miss Bellum, of course.
Yeah, and it showed a side of her face. It just her as like a sad face with lips and stuff. So, yeah.
And lastly, for you, Fresh.
Okay, so, well, basically, it's like something special happened way long ago. Back when I used to have a VHS, I had this special tape that it played like as much Tom and Jerry shorts as it could, but here's the fun part: it cuts to commercials when it can. Like, it plays commercials like either for like McDonald's or Cartoon Network or everything. Everything was just freaking holy. If it was like the best thing that ever happened to me. This is the reason why I love Tom and Jerry up to this point. It was so special that if someone were to find it or make it on YouTube, I would die happy.
You would die for Riley.
Well, just a happy man, but I can't since my real name means Immortal Warrior, so that's a win-win for me.
Did you get that joke?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just too nostalgic. Repeat it again.
I said you would die for Riley.
Well, in a way, maybe. But let's see.
I got that from Inside Out.
Exactly.
Oh, and so the tape, it played shorts starting with Two Little Indians all the way to this one where this mad scientist switched the brains of a dog and a cat. It was the best moment for me.
And people, it was the creation of Cat Dog.
Remember the one where there's a king and he wants to have some sleep, but if Tom keeps making noise, he'll have him killed. But of course, it involves Nibbles. So Nibbles actually sang him a lullaby.
Yes, I remember that one. I just can't stop laughing at the fact that he got shot in the butt with an arrow, and he was like, "Oh, where do we go? Oh well, yeah."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And one last thing, you all remember that one episode where they're on a cruise?
Okay, are you talking about the one where like Tom is on mouse duty, or the one where let's see, wait, am I right?
Yeah, the first one you said, yeah.
Yes, right, and like that was like one of the many few times I was like, what? Did he actually talk? Because when Jerry kicked him inside, he was like, help, help, let me out, kaboom!
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think it's like, oh God, help me, or something like that. It's really hard to understand.
And later on, it revealed they were actually watching their own cartoon, that one about like Texas Tom, where Tom tries to seduce this one like.
Oh yeah, that made me laugh so hard, especially where since John was using the record and Jerry switched it to fast. It's talking so fast it made me crack up laughing, and especially where he went slow too. I was like,
Yes.
Oh man, classic. Oh man, Tom and Jerry never fails to make me laugh.
Okay, but then, as usual, we just gotta keep moving on like a train.
Okay. I have the next one, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right.
Tom and Jerry Tales.
Oh, shows. Okay, yeah, go on ahead.
All right. Yes. Tom and Jerry Tales. Yes. I was really psyched to see this show back in the day because how it all started with me seeing the shorts, and then finally this promo of the Tom and Jerry Tales. It was a really great show, and to find out that half the cast were like both Canadian and American cast, which was really cool. And one of them being Sam Vincent as Jerry, which was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
there are two different Tom and Jerry shows: Tom and Jerry Tales and Tom and Jerry the show.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I know,
Tales.
I was just trying to make a point.
But yeah, it's just like the episodes were like really good, and the animation was good. I even loved the intro.
Me too. I always used to like it when it was on like what was it, CW for Kids? Yeah, I always used to watch Dinosaur King, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, Sonic X, Spectacular Spider-Man, of course, and those were the days.
Yep. And to show you it was half Canadian, half American, of course I mentioned Sam Vincent. And of course there was Nicole Oliver, Trevor Duvall, Carl Sauls Rocky, Ben Diskin, Ashley Ball, Jennifer Hale. Let's see here. Ian James Corlett, Cree Summer, Scott McNeil, Damon Kay, Gary Chalk, Maurice LaMarche, and many more that did additional voices, which was a pretty cool cast in my opinion.
Yes, and guaranteed.
Yeah. I know there's a lot, because I used to watch this show a lot, because it was one of my favorites back in the day, and just naming all the episodes, this might take a while, but all I have to say about the show, I thank it for like making Tom and Jerry even more greater for me.
And I'm happy for you because of that. Turned out well for you since you said that.
Yeah. It was just too much for me back in the day, like, like these certain shows from Boomerang especially, that just made my day happy.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, I especially miss when they used to do like the old Boomerang bumpers.
Me too, man. Me too. It's just the modernized version is just not that great and all, and just shows the same thing over and over again. And sometimes when I watch Boomerang, like Lane Chains comes on Sundays, so yeah.
Now we're on to Boomerang. The next show is, I don't like that. I prefer when they would show like the old classic characters. I like that.
Yeah, because some of the old shows I didn't know about. I mean, I knew about Huckleberry Hound because I used to have a VHS of it. It was about where he was tasked to get these twin boys and take them to school, and they're actually evil little brats. But if I captured them and the teacher guy found out that Huckleberry Hound never went to school, so he was forced to stay in class, and then the boys said one was 2, 2 is 4, and Huckleberry Hound didn't know what 3 and 3 is.
Yeah, and the intro, like what I especially loved about it is like it's the music and how it was played out. Like first they're being drawn, of course, like Tom chasing like Jerry, just going to his little hole, and then of course he could clutch into it, and of course he was trying to hit Jerry, but instead hit Spike, and then he, oh man, those were the times, man. Any experiences from you guys?
Well, it's just been a while. Even though I did enjoy it a little bit, but it's not really as much as you have. But I still, once again, honor the franchise.
Exactly. And yeah, for the Tom and Jerry tales, I give it like a thousand, million, cajillion, billion, out of 10.
Christian?
It's just, yeah, it's hard to rate it because it's that good, so I guess I'll go with 1 set.
And of course, sorry, then we can stop from here. Of course, there was the Tom and Jerry show that we see. They really, I did watch some episodes, but I never found it to be good. No offense to the franchise, but it didn't feel like my cup of tea.
Same.
Yeah, I agree. There's also one back in the day called Tom and Jerry Kids, where they're actually kids.
Yes, I love that one as well. That was one of the best. And yeah, I love the idea of Tom and Jerry Kids, because every show was doing it at the time, making baby versions of certain shows. And yeah, I like how Frank Welker played both Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I can tell you, those episodes were really nice. Of course it's been a while, but I just have to thank that show too.
I mean, I like the theme song, as I saw it in the Fox review of NC.
Cool. Also, I'll be back.
Oh, nice.
With the Tom and Jerry tales, yes, as I said before, it was very memorable. I already gave my score. But unfortunately for the Tom and Jerry show from nowadays, I didn't really click with it. I can't really give a score because it was not really that good.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in it either. I mean, I did kind of like the promo after watching Clarence, and that was just it.
Yeah. Well, that's it for shows.
Alright.
Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot to I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
I forgot to give my score for the Tom and Jerry Kids show.
Oh, alright, go ahead.
My overall score for Tom and Jerry Kids, yes, even though it's been years, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect example for a kids show.
Yes, I'll be able to see some if I can. Again.
Alright, so now for your moment, the movie you got, or for.
Okay, yes. It all happened way back when I was living in El Paso, when I moved to El Paso to a new house, and yeah, when I first saw it, of course I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy it at first, and then later on I realized that, oh yeah, this movie is kind of a little bit messed up, because in the middle it just focuses on another character rather than the main characters. But nevertheless, I still did enjoy Robin a little bit, and Andy McAfee's voice performance and her singing, and well, her connecting with her father at the end, and
yeah. I like to agree, even though I didn't see the full movie, I do agree, yes. Even though I got introduced to Andy McAfee and Hey Arnold, it was so surprising to see her in a movie.
Yes, right here, and also where people say that this is the first official time that Tom and Jerry did talk. That's not really true, but for the remainder of the movie, I guess that's just a whole different other level.
Yeah, and of course with Tom being voiced by legendary actor Richard Kind. Yes, this is how some people got introduced to him. For me, it was kind of in a funny way. I first got introduced to him in Toy Story 3 when he played the bookworm.
Right.
Yeah, but eventually how I got introduced to him full time was Inside Out when he played Bing Bong.
Yes.
And for you?
Well, yes, it was this movie, and this movie also introduced me to Dana Hill, who voiced Jerry, and it was like, wow, look at that, a female played Jerry, wow.
Yeah, it was really good, although it was sad when she sadly passed away, because other than Jerry, she was one of the voices for Max Goof from the Goof Troop.
Yes.
Yeah. But both actors did really good.
They did.
Yeah. And of course, other actors like Tino Asania, he played the officer.
And yes, and let's see, wait, I was right. Tony J as Lick Boot. And...
Oh yeah, was it Don Messick in the movie?
Yeah, he made a cameo appearance as Droopy.
Classic, yeah. And let's see here. I'm just helping out too. Okay, got it. Let's see here. Yeah, Tony J was Lickfoot. Legendary actor Rip Taylor was also in this movie.
Yeah, he was Captain Kitty, and yeah, like I did enjoy his musical number, which we'll get to later.
And then, of course, legendary voice actor Michael Bell was also in the movie.
As that fat dog on a skateboard, Ferdinand.
I was really surprised about that.
Yeah, made him sound like it. Were you trying to make him sound like Gollum?
Yeah, the actor that played Daddy Starling.
Sterling.
Yeah,
Starling.
Yeah. Legendary voice actor Ed Gilbert. He was known for playing. He was one of the voices of Baloo the Bear, and I believe from Jungle Clubs when he played his adult self. Even from, if I'm correct over here, I think it's from Tailspin. Hold on, let me just double check. Okay, he played him in some rides. Yeah, it was Tailspin.
Oh.
He was, in the original Transformers where he played Blitzwing. Yeah, he was just one of those actors at the time that, take any role. But yeah, other than playing the father, he also played, let's see here. Where is his show? Oh yeah, was it Pugsley?
Yeah, oh wait, Frankie Pug. Oh yeah, the talking dog that asked Tom and Jerry for their names, and that was like probably people's reasons why they kind of hated the movie.
And then legendary actor David L. Lander. He played Frankie the Flea. Yeah, he was in Green Lantern first flight from 2009. He was in Billy Mandy, Wrath of the Spider Queen. He played Curtis.
It's been a while.
And he was in Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Oswald. And then, let's see, other than that, he was in SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh yeah, he was in Hey Arnold. He played Sam the Sewer King.
Yeah.
Remember the episode with Arnold with Grandpa's watch?
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's see here. In Jungle Clubs, he played one of the vultures. Yeah, Arthur the Vulture. He was also in the Superman animated series, The Little Mermaid show. Also in Tailspin. He was in the Christmas special, A Garfield Christmas. He played Smartass from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh my god, I can hear the voice right now. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a very legendary voice actor. Yes, as I mentioned before, Tina Asania, he played the patrol officer, which was really, really cool for him.
Yes.
Yeah, because, before, seeing he was in the movie, of course, I got introduced to him in, both Bubble Guppies and Back at the Barnyard.
Yeah, Back at the Barnyard. The first Barnyard movie.
Yeah. Of course, also being in Darkwing Duck and Bobby's World. And, of course, we did mention, Hanna-Barbera legend Don Messick as Droopy. B.G. Ward, one of the voices of Velma, was also in the movie. He played Tom's owner.
Yes.
And other than that, you want to talk about any other actors that participated in this movie?
I mean, there's not really all that much left. So, we basically covered everybody.
But yeah, even though I didn't fully watch the movie, it was cool to see a different experience from Tom and Jerry.
Same here. I always used to skip the Robin's song, but now I come to accept it because it did kind of teach me all about, heartwarming moments or sad moments are important to a story, and I just gotta tell you, man, it's been a long while coming. But the other musical numbers I like. Let's see, What Do We Care? And let's see, of course, Captain Kitty's song. Money Is Such a Beautiful Word, and and that's it.
Fun fact, the song that Pugsley was singing, I was originally going to use that for my own animation for Tom and Jerry, but I didn't want to get a claim again.
Well, look, and with the claims,
I know, it doesn't affect me, but I get too much of them, that's the thing. So I just wanted to, like, you know, keep it a low profile for a while, you know, so, like, everybody's able to watch it, for that matter.
Oh, no, I understand, yeah. And
You know,
it depends on the issue with me as well, because it's good to know that the owner can sometimes allow you to do that kind of stuff, but you just gotta, like, you know, just be careful with what you do sometimes.
yeah. And other than that, what would you give your ranking for this awesome movie?
Well, yeah, okay, well, this time I give it like 88, yeah.
Nice. For me, I give it a 10 out of 10. You know, I can't wait to watch the full, like, movie someday. Because I know one person on YouTube, like, posted a lot of clips about it, but didn't really get the chance to. But hey. Alright. Now to the next movie.
Okay, so yeah, for me, it was like, yeah, Tom and Jerry, the Magic Ring. That was like something else. That was like the beginning, the pinnacle, the turning, like the whole, how would I say this? Well, whatever you want to call it, it just changed it for the franchise forever for me.
Yeah. This was an interesting one, in my opinion. Like, yeah. And yeah, the behind the scenes when you show us was pretty cool, seeing Jeff Bennett and Frank Welker doing the voices for Tom and Jerry. Like, half the time when Frank was doing the voice for Jerry or the sound effects, I was like thinking of Curious George the whole time.
Exactly, that's basically the voice.
Yeah. And yeah, and then of course Jeff Bennett taking the mantle of Droopy at that point. What do you thought of it?
Yeah, it's 100% cool.
And what do you think of Charlie Slater's character Chip?
Yeah, he's an interesting one, and it's just such a shame that Tom couldn't get the ring off, and it just got mad at him, keep shooting lasers and stuff. But he has a cool design nevertheless, and I was just so shocked to learn that later on he was Kate Patowski, and I was like, what? This guy the whole time when I got introduced to him in this movie?
And let's see here. There was also Jim Cummings where he played Butch the dog.
Yes.
And what do you thought of Butch?
Not really all that much. It's just his overall hamminess, all thanks to Jim.
And of course there is Freddy, voiced by Billy West. Now that was a good performance.
And yeah, well, and that's the thing too that I come up with. With Freddy, yes, originally supposed to name Muscles because he's, you know, Jerry's muscular older cousin. And another thing with the name changes is Nibbles. He can either be called that or Tuffy sometimes.
Yeah, I did learn about that. Like, you know, this is very confusing. But what did you thought of Billy West's performance?
Well, yeah, I do like the accent.
Yep. And yeah, speaking of Nibbles, yeah, for this movie, it was Tara Strong's turn to take on the mantle, which I think she did really good.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, let's see here.
Well,
there's also Brace.
No, wait,
yeah.
go on.
I'm sorry, like, you go ahead.
Yeah, and like, and it is. No, you go. I just want to see what you.
And Maurice LaMarche was also in the cast. He played the Alley Cats, and one of the few times he got to play Spike.
Yes.
Yeah, his Spike voice. I mean, what can I expect from Maurice LaMarche? He could do that kind of voice. Like, it's really good.
And like when I saw the behind the scenes for the first time, and I was like, what? Wow, him doing that Alley Cat voice. Like, there's no way that he was capable of that. And then it just boggles the mind.
Yeah, that's one of the many mysteries of voice actors. Like, you don't expect, like, that much talent. Like, you know, it kind of reminds me of that one video, like, you always mention about Maurice LaMarche doing. Remember when he did Yogi Bear and Boo Bear?
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny as hell.
It was.
Yeah. And, of course, other than Droopy, Jeff Bennett also played a character named Joey.
Yes.
Now, how would you describe Joey in your own way, Fresh?
Okay, well, as Freddy's right hand man, he's just one of those comic relief type of guys.
Well, yeah. Kind of reminds me of the Looney Tunes show. It kind of reminds me of Speed Gonzalez's cousin.
Oh, Slowpoke Rodriguez. Wow.
Like a little bit, but it was cool that he was voiced by Carl Salz Rocky.
Yes.
And let's see here. Of course, Jess Arnell was there, but he'll only play the policeman.
Yeah, but that was still so surprising. Still.
Yeah, and let's see here. Other than playing Jerry, Frank Ogre also played Tyke.
Yes.
And let's see here. Trish McNeil was also in the cast.
Yes.
Yeah, she played Margaret and the mom. That's funny. Half of the half of the animated cast was in the show.
Movie.
Oh, in the movie, yeah. But that was pretty awesome. If they got Raw Pulse in the movie, that would have been epic.
It would have, but sooner or later.
Yes. And the voice of Naruto was also in this movie.
Yeah, it shocked me, and more recently, I found out that she's a lesbian.
Well, I did not know that, but I do know she also did live action shows.
Wait, like?
I believe. Hold on. Let me see, because I just don't want to confuse the shows. Okay. Is it? No. Hold on. Yeah, she was in a Disney show called Lab Rats.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that show.
Yeah. I only watched it as a child, but it's been a while, but hey, it's pretty cool that she was in that show. But what was one of the best moments from that movie that was wow to you?
Okay, yeah. What was the best one? Well, I always enjoy that one chase scene that almost looks like some Scooby-Doo door chase. What else? I guess that one part where Tom and Jerry team up to just come up with some magic stuff to scare off the alley cat.
Yeah.
And you?
For me, yeah, I gotta agree with you. Even though it's been a while, but remembering some bits of it. With these kind of Tom and Jerry movies, it depends if I want to watch them or not. I only watch some of them, but it's great to know who participate in the the casting. Even though some of the movies uncredit some of the voice actors.
Exactly my point.
Yeah, but overall, yeah, this is not a bad movie. If any kid wants to watch it here, you should.
Yes, it's up to them about what they feel like, because that's the same thing. If I feel like it or not.
And your overall score?
Let's see. Yeah, give it 100.
I'll go with a 10. All right. Now I got a good one for you, Fresh.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Willy Wonka one.
Well, yeah. Even though I did enjoy it at first, and once again, when I came across it later, I'm like, well, yeah, it's okay. When it's basically just a retelling. It's basically just the same story, but with Tom and Jerry thrown in there. Like they did it with, The Wizard of Oz. They did it with anywhere else with any crossovers.
True, but I just like the animation. It was really clean.
Yes, I won't lie about that.
Yeah, and one voice actor in particular, I was really surprised about, and I'm really glad he played Willy Wonka yet. J.P. Korlek.
Yes, it was very interesting to get to know him about what he also did, and yeah.
Yeah, for you people out there, yes, yeah, he's been a voice actor for a long time. In Skylanders, he played a character named Wolfgang. He was Green Goblin and Spidey and His Amazing Friends from 2021. How I got introduced to him was the Tin Man from Dorothy and Wizard of Oz from Boomerang. He was also one of those voice actors that played Neil Patrick Harris's character, the Music Meister. He also took over for Alec Bowen's character, Boss Baby. And other than that, he played a lot of Marvel characters during the. I just found him as an interesting voice actor with so much versatility.
Versatility.
Yeah. But yeah, he just really captured the original, like, film.
Yeah, except for he could have put much more energy in, like, the scene where Wonka blows up. Like, you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. But agree.
Yeah. But hey, it was so good at the end. And yeah, about JP, like, yes, he is gay in real life. Like, recently, like last year, he got married because I saw on Kari's Instagram that he got married.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And another voice actor, yes, following with the franchise, just started out as Grandpa Joe. I really like the voice.
Same here. And like Bill the candy shop guy in the beginning, he was saying, like, the candy man. Yeah, he still got it with the singing and everything.
The Candy Man. Woo. That's legendary. And of course, Mick Wingert played Mr. Slugworth.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think of the voice he gave?
Okay, well, yeah, it was a little bit unnecessary to make him German, but I still enjoyed it. And at first I did enjoy the Veruca's I Want It Now, like, because the visuals, but it too was unnecessary as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh, Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, was also in this movie.
Wait, who did he play again? Like, I didn't even know he was, like, in that movie. It's just been a while.
He played two characters. One of them is Mr. Salt.
Oh, Veruca Salt's dad, yeah.
And another person... Wait, is this? Oh, yeah, Charlie's teacher, I believe, right? Yeah.
What? Well, I mean, I said, like, it's been a while, but okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Kate Higgins was also in the movie. She played Charlie's mother, Mrs. Bucket.
Cool.
Yeah. Jeff Bergman played Droopy in this one. And what I can say about this movie, it's pretty nice. Even though, yes, as first said, it's just a retelling role for Tom and Jerry. What did you have the idea at first?
Okay, yes, I did think it was cool. Like, I first watched this during the time when I was still living in an apartment, and it's I honestly did once again found it to be cool, but things change afterwards.
I mean, hey, you can't win them all, but there's just a lot of good parts, but again, you can't win them all. For my score, I give it a 9 out of 10.
And a 7. But one scene that I did enjoy is, of course, the classic tunnel scene where Tuffy tells, like, that whole creepy poem.
Yep, and of course, Katsu's return.
Yes.
Alright, next movie.
Oh yeah, one of the many the other starts again to make me love the franchise even more. Tom and Jerry Blast Off to Mars. Hello? Oh, okay. Well, just gotta stop it from there.
Fresh posting like the behind the scenes on the second channel a while ago.
Well, yeah. Well, just not only just the behind the scenes, but just everything that just took me all the way back because that's how important it was to me. But go on with the behind the scenes, of course, being the best part.
Yeah, the voice director that did all this was also like providing the voice for Tom, which was really cool of him.
Yes, it took me way long to figure it out because I was just stunned with everything, full of awesomeness. But yeah, he did a bang up job.
Yeah, and of course Jerry didn't have a voice actor, but Frank Walker got the opportunity to play Spike.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you thought of his version?
It's all right.
Hey, yeah, before we go any further, how I got introduced to this movie, yes, I did watch it a couple of times, but how I got introduced to it was, like, the movie promo. Like, Boomer used to do this thing where, say, grab a seat and watch movies with us.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Of course I do. Yeah. I like it because it used to play all the freaking time, and
yeah. It would show Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, other show, like, movies. It was just amazing. I love that promo.
For me, way back when I lived in my first house, and it was like during Christmas time, and when I was opening it up, and me and my sister, we always had these fake plastic food toys, and we always do like some kind of food fight at each other while watching Tom and Jerry. That one scene with the dehydrated food, and that's what. Something.
Yep. It is something. See, other than that, then we get to more characters. Like, yes, both Biff and Buzz, the two characters voiced by Billy West and Jess Arnell. They were very funny and interesting characters.
Yeah, that was like that was basically my introduction to them.
Both of them? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was Animaniacs for Jess Arnell.
Oh well, with Animaniacs it took me way longer because it happened when I lived in like Colorado, and that's where I first watched the VHS version of Animaniacs with I'm Mad, and that's how it was.
Oh, okay, got you. But yeah, your opinions about these guys?
Yeah, I really do like them. I like how like they bicker with each other, but they still can be friends. And they lighten up more a little bit in Tom and Jerry, The Fast and the Furry, which we will get into later.
Yes, but like from both of them, which one do you say have to be your favorite?
Well, yeah, I just like Buzz, yeah, like because Jess Arnell is a treasure. I just really like his voice overall.
With me, it has to be with Biff. I just like similar to you, I just like the voice Billy West gave.
Yes.
And then, of course, the commander himself, played by Brad Garrett.
Yes, yeah, he's decent. He's tough. He has his moments. And like I did kind of like while I was watching the Jetsons and quickly turned it off, like, oh, yo, there's nothing personal.
Yeah. But yeah, that commander, I know he yelled a lot, but goddamn, Brad Garrett, Brad Garrett with his yelling, it's very funny. You gotta admit.
Of course, yes. He's meant to be a funny guy.
Yep. Let's see here. With Jeff Bennett voicing Dr. Gluckman.
Yes, yeah, he's a decent as well.
And now to like the little aliens. First one being Peep.
Yeah, I do like her. I found her to be really adorable, and how she like has feelings for Jerry, and found herself like to be like helping out Tom and Jerry later to stop her fellow Martians from taking over the world and turning over a new leaf.
Yeah. Now let's see here. Of course, the other ones. Yeah. Grob, voiced by Tom Kenny. What do you thought of him?
Yes, I do like his voice, and that's basically it. His voice and his, quirks and all different stuff.
It's been a while. Can you give me a sample of it? Like, how would you describe his voice?
How would I? This. I mean, like, there's almost I kind of like heard that voice before, but I'm not sure who would it be.
Wait. I think I might have an idea. Let me just do some research here. Because in my head, I'm thinking like maybe he used the dirty bubbles like voice, but I'm just because it's been a while. I'm just pointing that out.
Actually, yeah, that would be like he is using his dirty bubble voice. Okay.
Yeah, and of course, Bill was voicing another character called King Thing. Like, again, it's been a while, but how would you describe him?
Okay, well, first he's just comical because when he's first introduced, it just takes him a while to stop falling down the stairs until he just, announces, yes, we have finally found the great goop, let's throw him this party.
He kind of looks like the green version of like another like Martian king, from Planet Sheen.
You mean like the emperor?
Yeah, voice referred to the show. Like He kind of reminds me of him a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, he reminded me of somebody, but I just couldn't quite remember and stuff.
And of course, Corey Burton was also in the cast. He played the Martian scientist. And then Jess Arnell also voiced the Martian general. And Corey Burton also played the court attendant. And of course, Tom Kenny and Jeff Bennett just voicing like, the Martian guards here and there. Also, Rob Paulson was in this one. He voiced the computer.
Yes, right, yes.
And let's see here. Yeah, Tom Kenny, Billy West, Justin Arthur's doing additional voices. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Tom Kenny and Billy West were the gardeners that chased after Tom and Jerry after they mistook them as being like vandals from their hedge clipping.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff Bennett also voiced the president.
Right, yes, like it was just basically an Arnold Schwarzenegger type parody guy.
Which is kind of funny because, he did a similar voice.
Well, you gotta be specific or they're not gonna know.
The Dollinator.
Yes, from Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Put the cookie down.
And that's basically all the good things from it. Because every time when I go into the DVD features, which were really awesome back in the day, and this was like the best one, and my top favorite one of all.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, now you want to move to Fist of Furry?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, like it's still rolling.
Okay, so you want to go first?
Okay, well, yes, it starts out like, Tom and Jerry chasing each other, causing destruction, blah, blah. They accidentally destroy their owner's home until they come across the fabulous super race in order to win a fancy new mansion. And, well, we get introduced to the racers. It then starts off the world racing, racing all around the world, but at the end of each race, no one gets the key just yet. There's just still much more places to go until the winner is selected.
It would have been interesting if they brought the actual cast of Fast and Furious to this cast. It would have been interesting, because of a parody.
Well, I guess so. In that type of way, if it just depends on if it's either racing or action packed, because I think that's what you're getting into.
But there was a good experiences here and there, and then this time around, Johnny Maggio got to play Spike.
And his version was really good.
Yeah, he was playing a character named JW.
Yes, the guy, the whole just ignorant boss type of guy, and he did kind of get his comeuppance at the end where he just says that since the whole race was a tie between Tom and Jerry, that they had to race all over again, and then they just beat him up, and then he's freaking disintegrated. Damn.
Kind of reminds me of what happened to the Strangler from SpongeBob.
Wait,
the episode when the villains return and Man Ray were doing auditions, and the Strangler couldn't wait any longer. He was like, "No way, it's my turn!" And then Man Ray just annihilated him with his blaster.
Oh.
Yeah, he did the same thing to Nosferatu. But let's see here. Next thing, Rob Paulson's character, Irving.
It's one of the the kind of guy to just be the much more competent guy, other than the boss, more than the boss. What am I saying? And then at the end became the head of Glob Wobber Studio or whatever it was called, and getting the ladies. Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts.
Mhm. Another surprising part, and it was one of the funniest bits, is when Charlie Adler played Grammy.
Oh yes, using his cow voice.
Yeah, sweet efforts and this yelling. I just love how Charlie Adler yells like that.
It was a little off-putting to be like, "What? Some dude plays this old lady?" And it was like, "Well, okay, that's not half bad. That's kind of funny."
Then again, that's not the first time Charlie Adler Wait. Then again, Charlie Adler did play another, like, what you call it, female character. Yes, other than Cal. Of course, there's also, Dr. Doom's mother from Superhero Squad.
And Mrs. Bighead from Rocko's Modern Life. But I was just stating that I was just unaware that this was kind of my quote unquote introduction to him.
Cool. Of course, with me, yes. Of course, the show used to run on Cartoon Network. It was Cow and Chicken. But eventually, how I really got introduced to him, before Superhero Squad, I guess I have to say, what was it? Well, I guess it was Superhero Squad, or both Cow and Chicken. Also saw a little bit of Tiny Toons, but that makes, that's one of the reasons why Charlie Adler is one of my favorite voice actors, because of his range.
Same here.
Yeah. And now for Tom Kenny's character, woof. You want to explain?
Gorthon, the so-called Destroyer of Lights, seems to be this all-powerful guy, and well, he's not really all that bad. Like he can still be a good guy when he can be, and I do like Tom, like the voice that he gave him, and it almost kind of sounds like a filter, and that's it's always cool to hear people's voices like that. But his faith, however, with him getting his tongue stuck to a pole after trying to prove a point about how that's impossible, but I still enjoyed his character.
Yeah, he has a really cool design. Let's see. Oh, Jeff Bennett's other character.
Steve Dirkley, right? That old famous handsome guy, but can be a little bit of a jerkish, self-absorbed. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yes. This is doing it for the ladies, aren't we?
But his faith, wow. I'm it's fun to be his glory moment from The Little Mermaid soon turned into a horror show when he's eaten by her kids.
Yeah. And let's see here. Do you remember Dr. Professor?
Yeah, sadly he was too disintegrated or warped away or something. Whatever happened to him.
Yes, and he was voiced by legendary voice actor Neil Ross, who was, in the original Transformers, the voice of Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1994, and Grandfather from K&D.
Yes.
And a shocking one when he played the Cyclops from SpongeBob, the movie.
Right.
It's the Cyclops! Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Billy West also played the president of Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it was some pharaoh guy, and he also voiced a Granny's dog Squirty.
Mm-hmm. And Rob also played a character named Dave. Jess Arnell played the film director. Tristan O'Neill played Lady and a soccer mom.
Yes, she didn't really deserve to go out, and that was a dirty move on Tom to switch the signs, and then that caused her to get stuck in quicksand. She managed to get out, but the rainforest just took her.
This movie had a lot of surprises, in my opinion.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, and let's see, Tom Kenny got to play a whale.
Yes, that was kind of a little bit cool, but.
And let's see here. Jess McNeil also voiced a tour girl, and let's see, TV announcers voiced by Jeff Bennett. I'm just gonna say yes, a bunch of surprises here and there. I know what they were trying to do, but yeah, something about this movie was wow. I just have to say that because Cars related.
Of course, it just took me forever to watch this movie up until I was living here, but in another house, and just every single time when I wake up on Saturday mornings when it's on, I would just always want to catch it because I always like the intro and the music. It was
Yeah. I mean, do you remember what year you first watched it?
Okay, well, yeah, this was during where I was still living in my other house before I moved here, and then so I'm guessing that was 2014-ish, yeah, during when I was still happy, And the only thing that I do remember was just seeing the promo way back when I used to live in El Paso.
Huh. Cool to hear. I mean, with the Tom and Jerry movies, like, it took me a while because, getting used, like, I was used to the shorts in the show. I was like, I eventually gave it a chance, It was really good.
Same here. Like, and once again, I just kind of called this much more better than, well, Tom and Jerry Blast Off to Mars. Despite it being one of the most nostalgic things from Tom and Jerry, I just find it much more just better.
Yeah. And your rating?
Yeah, just a simple. You know what? Yeah, 100 out of. Just 101.
10 out of 10. Alright, next one. Of course, another movie, yes. When they met. Oh, yes, Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that was a good one. Despite the fact that I learned about like why they did it, it's just what else to make money. But
what I gotta say, yes, I did watch this once. But yeah, with Tom and Jerry making like these, crossovers, like what they did with Willy Wonka and other, like, medias and all that, at that point I was like, this is pretty good, And yeah, this is like one of the movies that I mentioned that they didn't credit the actors. Yeah, because Tom was played by Billy West and Jerry was played by Bob Bergen.
Yeah, that's just kind of messed up, and it just led me to believe that is this actually true, or did they just use archival recordings, kind of like what they always do with these kind of situations?
Man, that's like casting for you, but eventually people just forget. Of course, with me, if I get to that point, of course I'm just gonna put everything down on my book, because leaving a person behind, that's just like really rude.
Yes.
Yeah, but for Dorothy, what do you think of Brie Delisle's version?
Yeah, I liked it. Soft, gentle, sweet, everything. Capturing Judy Garland's version, excellent.
Well, yes, I agree, but I prefer Kari's version, like, in my opinion.
And no, I agree with you too. She just made her much more. I will say that Kari kind of made her much more adorable. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah. And let's see here. Of course, Cap Susie replies as Tuffy, or still changing the names here and there, kind of pisses us off. But hey, it's still good that she reprised.
Yes.
And let's see here. The Scarecrow was played by Michael J. Grubb. Yes, I know him. And when Mike Myers was not available, he would play Shrek for him.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah, he was also in Ben 10. He was in Crash Team Racing. Let's see here. He was also one of the voices of Gopher from Winnie the Pooh.
Whoa.
Yep. And let's see here. Any familiar ones? He also got to play James Gordon in the video games. Or sure, a lot of characters here and there. He also did a lot of narrations for some TV shows or games or movies. He was in Scooby-Doo Legend of the Phenosaurus. You ever watch that movie?
Not yet.
Let's see, another good one. He was in he was a Superman Batman Public Enemies where he played both Hawkman and Captain Code.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was also in Marvel Ultimate Alliance where he played MODOK, Pilot Driver, and Shocker.
Cool.
Yeah. And of course, Rob Paulson as the Tin Man. He did really good.
Same here.
Yeah. It's the voice, when Rob does this kind of characters, he really captures them.
He does, yes.
And let's see, the Wicked Witch of the West, voiced by Lorraine Newman, which is kind of funny because she actually played her later in the Boomerang Show with Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz.
This is good.
Yeah, but what do you tell of the voice?
Well, yeah, it's excellent. I guess it kind of reminded me a little bit much more of the OG version. I like that, where people just try to capture the original person's version.
And let's see here. Actor Stephen Root was also in this movie. He played Uncle Henry, Crow 1 and Crow 2. I think his talent was really good in this movie.
I mean, like, yeah, even though I saw it like once, I guess I could take your word for it.
And of course, legendary actor sadly passed away a few years ago. Joel Lasky was also in this movie.
Yes, his Droopy was of course 100% awesome, like just sounding just the same as like everybody else, but still, I mean, like, but in a good way. I mean, because since it is basically an easy voice to pull off. And when I say pull off, I mean literally you have to pull your cheek to do the voice.
I was very shocked when Fred Tusher did it, and I was like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. He also played Butch the Dog and the Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah. Wait, how did I miss that? Wait, did I remember to do so? Maybe I have to check afterwards.
But yeah, even though it's been a while since I've seen this movie, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, same as you.
Alright then, any more movies that you remember?
Oh yes, Tom and Jerry Shiver Me Whiskers.
Oh, you actually watched that one?
I did, yeah.
How did it turn out?
Okay, yeah. This was, of course, during El Paso when I watched it in my sister's room, and we both enjoyed it. And I do like how it was pirate themed. It was like everything to me. It was like one of those rare occasions I was like, oh, this is some good stuff.
And you could tell Kevin Michael Richardson was the goat of this movie.
Oh yes, playing like the red pirate, the blue pirates, and the purple pirates.
Yes. Oh, also legendary actor Wallace Shawn was in this movie.
Oh yes, Barnacle Paul, the purple pirate.
And yes, the goat, another goat, Mark Hamill playing the Skull.
Oh yes.
And let's see here. I know one of the actors, the voice of Peggy Hill was also the Blue Parrots.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa. And of course, it was kind of shocking to know that, the original voice of the Dirty Bubble, Charles Nelson Riley, yes, and he was the Red Parrot.
But yeah, even though his sad passing, it was surprising how Tom couldn't, copy the voice, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And other than that, Charles, he was also in the Pink Panther show from 1993, Rugrats, and All Dogs Go to Heaven, where he plays Killer. And in the Flintstones Frankenstein show, he played Frankenstein, which is pretty cool. He was also in that movie Rockadoodle. You ever heard of it?
I think I have. I just kind of shied away from it because it kind of looked a little bit dumb, because it kind of reminded me of this one movie called Dougal, which is basically maybe the same thing, I'm guessing, but it's just some animated movies are just either hit or miss to me.
Hit or miss. I guess I never missed a. But yeah, what was the best moments for you for this movie?
Yeah, I guess it was just the monkey chase, even though it was kind of a little bit just. Nah, what am I kidding? I just enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And your rating?
Yeah, I give it about like an 8.
Out of Kevin's characters, who did you like the most?
Well, I just the Red Pirate.
And what kind of voice did he use for the Red Pirates?
I mean, all the voices they use for the Red Pirate and the Blue Pirate is just Yar.
Yar, yeah. But what voice was very close to what Kevin was doing? If you could explain.
I honestly don't know.
Well, that's fine. Alright, do you mind if I could talk about a video game?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm basically done with all the movies since. Oh wait, right, a Nutcracker Tale. But go on.
Okay, so yeah, the Tom and Jerry game, the War of the Whiskers. Even though I didn't play the game, I did see some gameplays, and even the music was really good. It was really, really good. And yeah, this is another thing. They didn't credit the actors because yes, in this game, Tom was played by Marissa Marsh, and Jerry was played by what was it?
Charlie Adler.
Exactly. Yeah. I just hate when they do that, bullshit.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and I swear to God, I did first learn about this And freaking behind the voice actors, when I went to Maurice LaMarche's page for research one day and I learned, oh my god, he played Tom. And then later on, oh wait, that was a lie. Apparently some other guy took care of all the other voices, and that's bullcrap because you can tell just by listening.
But yeah, of course, I believe, wasn't Spike voiced by S. Scott Bullock in this one?
Yes, he was. Okay, and yes, Rob Paulson, he was Tyke. Nancy Cartwright, she was Nibbles. Let's see, who was one I remember? John DiMaggio, he was Monster Jerry.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though I didn't play this game, it was still, like, yeah, you gotta admit, the graphics, even though, yeah, they were still developing at the time, because you can't blame those. Like, you know, this is back in 2002. Like, you know, you can't blame them. They were still developing how video games should look like today. But I thought it was really cool.
So do I. I saw some gameplays. I did like the music. I did like, of course, like the characters fighting each other, and I liked everything about it.
Exactly. Yes, sir. I wish I could play this game someday. Like, it looks really, really cool. Like, yeah, my rating 10 out of 10, brother.
Yes.
And yes, explain your next one.
Oh yeah, Tom and Jerry and Nutcracker Tale. That was a decent Christmas Christmas movie. I saw it about like 2 times, and let's see. Yeah, it has a really nice take of the Nutcracker Tale, and one of the many few surprising moments, of course, when I saw like Tom singing with his fellow cats about like singing a special dedication song for the King of the Cats, blah blah blah, His Royal Highness.
Whoa, this is kind of cool. Like, yes, the voice director being Andrea Romano, but this is basically a Canadian cast.
Well, yes, because like I know that Ian James Corlett, he played some like, you know, some elf-like toy.
Yeah, Polly, and then Kathleen Barr was also in the cast with Trevor Duvall, Gary Chalk, Tara Strong, and many more. That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I might have seen like a promo for this, but I didn't really watch the full movie. Like how would you explain it? Like, would you recommend me like watching it someday?
Sure. It's your call. It's cool. It really is.
And what would you give your rating?
Yeah, I give it about 8.
Nice. Let's see here. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Oh, there's this one movie. I watched it once, but I did watch this one time. It was called Tom and Jerry Meet Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie was pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I seen some scenes, and like, you know, even though I watched it one time, I gotta say, the way how they were like introducing Sherlock Holmes and all that, I gotta say, they did it really good.
I'm glad to hear.
And yeah, when Christian was asking about this, yeah, this is one of the few times Phil Lamar actually voiced Spike.
Right. Oh, I see now.
Yeah. Alright, I'll be back.
On.
Okay, so yeah, the voice actor for like Sherlock Holmes, he did really good with, like, how would I explain it? It's like a voice Maurice LaMarche, Tim Curry, or Troy Baker could do, basically. I'm really impressed with that.
Oh, nice to hear.
And yeah, you ever heard of this character, Professor Moriarty?
Yes, Sherlock Holmes' arch enemy. Like, I'm not really familiar with Sherlock Holmes completely all the way, but I have done some like research here and there, most times.
To be honest, I didn't watch any of the live action ones, in my opinion. Like, I'm just saying that I didn't. I know Robert Downey Jr. was in it, also with Benedict Cumberbatch. I know Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly was also in there.
Yeah, well, many people hated that one.
But yeah, the actor that played Professor was Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, he did really good though.
Oh, of course, just like he always does.
And Grey Delilah Griffin, of course, in another Tom and Jerry movie, was Red. And I must tell you, she was nice and had a very nice singing voice.
Of course.
And Jeff Brooklyn was also in the cast. He played Droopy and Butch. pretty nice. And yes, this is where we get introduced to the three cats, voiced by Richard McGonagall, Jess Harnell, and Greg Illis. Yeah, those three cats, they appeared in other movies, but in this one, they were just funny as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Yeah, and then of course, like, yeah, most of them were played by additional voices like the sergeant, first policeman, and policeman. Yeah, this movie was really good. I recommend you watching it. It was pretty nice.
Oh, sure. Right.
And yeah, my rating, 10 out of 10.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah. But my overall score for the Tom and Jerry franchise, I thank them because of a great show. Like, with these shorts, movies, like, anything. Like, even, like, merchandise, they did really good with. And I thank them for that. For making my childhood amazing.
Same here. Yes, basically everything that you said, and as a bonus, yeah, they were even. Of course, any child would remember coloring in some coloring books, and I remember like having comic books of like Tom and Jerry, SpongeBob, Cartoon Network, Spider-Man, everything. It's just like it says that awesome. It stands out as one of the top tiers in cartoon comedy and comedy overall, basically.
And yeah, this was a great review, just like how we did Scooby-Doo.
And Looney Tunes, tiny bit, yes.
Tiny bit.
And just for... Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I said what the whole franchise, but go ahead.
And just for this, and this was a perfect... Thank you for this... Thank you for this... Wow. Even Christian's making me do it. He's got me talking gibberish. And thanks for your suggestion to save this as the Big Bang for this year of 2005, reviewing everything that was awesome about it, and moving on to the next year, which...
And,
yep.
Hold on. You know what else happened in 2005 that was awesome?
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah?
Do you know what else was awesome in 2005?
What?
Me being born.
Right, yes, because you were brought into this world to just showcase your own magic, and you did prove your potential. You're making everybody extremely happy with what you do, and I'm proud to have ever met someone as just hilarious and motivated as you. And another treat to be... No. Another possible gift to be considered a treat, I suppose. I don't know what I'm saying, but the point is, there was another one born this year, and that somebody was Jacob Tremblay, who I've gotten to know as like one of my personal favorite actors from here, just from how much skill he's got.
With Jacob, for me, I first got introduced to him in the second Smurfs movie.
Right, yes.
Because considering that was his first role.
And yeah, here too, I do remember seeing him in the promos, with him and Neil Patrick Harris both saying "Smurfs have Smurfs," mimicking Gargamel. That's what I remember him from. Holy crap.
And now, as we move on to the next list, so you just want to get Christian here so we can clarify who's going to be in which one.
Yeah. Alright, and it's just gonna stop it from there.